last week, guys, we gave you a lot of news on a lot of the pundits there, the talking heads, talking about our star rookie wide receiver Malik Nabers, and not talking about him necessarily in a very positive light. There, we got some positivity though today. We got a little news here for you. The PFN, Pro Football Network, expects a huge impact from Malik Nabers. So what they said is, for at least another year, the New York Giants contingent, led by Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, is placing its hopes in Daniel Jones. It's unclear if Jones will rebound after a disastrous 2023 campaign, but he'll need to lean on rookie wide receiver Malik Nabers to accomplish that. Nabers broke out in 2023, distinguishing himself as a venerable three-level threat at the wide receiver position. He can separate and generate RAC in isolation with twitch and explosion, and he has impeccable catch point instincts and proactivity on the attack. So, again, I think what just upsets me when people talk about the rookie season here coming up for Malik Nabers is it seems like they just can't stop talking about Daniel Jones in it. And I get it to a certain degree because there's a huge question mark there at that position. But guys, can we just sit there and say that Malik Nabers is an amazing young talent and we're expecting big things? We don't know how great the first year, but big things. Do we have to sit there and just bash Daniel Jones every single time? And y'all know I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he, even should be on the roster necessarily. The contract's going to force it, but it is what it is. But these stories, when they come out, they're about Malik Nabers. They're not about Daniel Jones, guys. So, I just wish some of these guys would just kind of focus on that. So, again, we've talked about before where Jordan Addison last year didn't exactly have great quarterback play. He had horrible quarterback play, in fact. They were on like the fourth or fifth string quarterback there at times. They made midseason trade to bring another quarterback, and it wasn't that great either. That's how desperate they were at that position. And Jordan Addison still had 900 yards. Are you telling me Daniel Jones is not better than those guys? Are you telling me that Daniel Jones isn't better than people that were throwing to him at that point? I mean, minus Kirk Cousins, obviously. Obviously Kirk Cousins is still, even though he's not a great player overall as far as if you want to win, but you tell me Nick Mullins is better than Daniel Jones? Joshua Dobbs is better? Jaron Hall? I mean, are these guys really better than Daniel Jones? Of course not. So I think it's very realistic to sit there and expect the guy to have, a 1,000-yard kind of season. Because someone did it last year with worse quarterback play. So quarterback is not an excuse. So I'm looking forward to seeing a good season from Malik Nabers. I'm looking forward to him being a true number one. The first true number one we've had since the days of OBJ. And like I said, I'm thinking that I don't care what's going on at the quarterback position. There are plenty of receivers who have excelled while still having a bad quarterback. Look at what happened in Houston for DeAndre Hopkins all those years. He didn't have a great quarterback. He still made it happen. If Nabers is going to be an elite wide receiver, which for where we drafted him, he should be, there's no excuse, guys. He's going to get it done because that's what he has to do to establish himself as that kind of receiver in this league. So that's what I think is going to happen there, and I'm not worried about the Daniel Jones factor. I'm worried more about Daniel Jones, but the rest of the receivers that may not be as good as him, like Jalen Hyatt especially, we're trying to, build him up and get him, going to this league. But Malik Nabers should be just hit the ground running. When you're 6th overall, that's what your job is, hit the ground running. So,
thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.